I tried to do StreamYard and I was having issues. I don't know what they did. They updated. It's something with their AI, I guess. When I clicked on an old live, that because it had already expired, it wouldn't let me broadcast that one. But it was working. Like when I signed into it, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It wouldn't let me go live on that one. But the ones that I created for tonight would let me do it. So I don't know. I'm on here. I had one person ask me a question, so I will answer that. So if anyone has a question, I will answer those. But someone asked me, and hello everyone, happy Thursday night, by the way. It's a beautiful night. The sunset here in the Midwest. We have a very noisy outdoors because we have lots of cicadas or locusts or whatever you call them. Growing up, we called them locusts. And you see the shells on the ground at this time of year. Well, maybe there's cicadas, there's cicada bodies everywhere, but then there's the shells, and we call those locusts. So I don't know, maybe there is a difference, but we always called them locusts. They're really loud, they're all over the place. That's about it. That's all I have to tell you. It's been a very hot, humid summer, and it's just nice right now. It's a lot drier, but yeah, it's like everything's just overgrown and loud and buggy and all that stuff. But it's pretty. I'm really happy that I'm starting to feel autumn come around. Thank God. And I know that that means that in Australia, they're going to start to have springtime, which I always find so hard to comprehend. Everything's the opposite. So like even their Christmas is like summertime, whereas here Christmas is winter. But I looked at the map. I'm sort of like curious about what temperatures everybody has right now, and Australia is genuinely cold. It's funny because I always thought, they're not that cold. Their winter would be, they're actually like in the 30s, what I saw. So that's pretty cold. So I take it back. Australians do get cold, and they're not just complaining for nothing when they say they're cold thing. Here in Kansas, though, I have to say, we get really, really, really sub-zero temperatures. So winter is, especially in January, it's a whole different story. Well, anyway, here I am. We're going to ask this question. Focus, guides and angels. I'm sort of shuffling the cards right now. How is the housing market going to be? And I would say within the next 6 months. Truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. God and angels. What is going to happen with the housing market? That is what a viewer asked me. Thank you for asking. And let me see, I'll pull this out so I can let the cards fall there. Okay, what's on with the housing market? Thanks for joining me. My name is Amy. It's Amy Earth Spirit. If you want a reading, let me know. You can check out my bio. Donations. I can do a $5 reading. Okay, those stopped. Temperance. So things are going to be tempered. Now, as we've seen with a lot of the politics, the courts have been stepping in. As much as it doesn't seem like it, the Constitution has barely held together. But the courts really have stepped in, and some things with finances, like the Federal Reserve, Unit 45 just tried to fire her. And my feeling is because the whole plan was to take over all the mortgages and take over all the banks and essentially take over all. And we know how 45 is, whether you like him or hate him. You know that money would be gone 2 weeks. So we really don't want that. I don't care what side you're on. It's just not a good idea. We need to have rules and structured lines and safeguards with our more finance in this country, and it affects the world. So you really don't want one person taking over the Federal Reserve. We have to have people who know what they're doing, who are there to guard our systems. So temperance, at the bottom of the deck, I have temperance, and that means that there are safeguards. There will be rules, locks, standards, safeguards put in with the housing market. So I'm talking about, we don't want a recession. We don't want to have a housing, people homeless, like 2008 with George Bush. I was going to say the word boom, but it would be boom in the bad way, not like a great house. But maybe, see, I doubt that. I could sit here and say, oh, that means that there's going to be a growth in housing? I doubt it. We just saw that. We saw that when we saw, when Clinton was in office, it was years and years and years ago, there was a major, major housing boom. That's where you see a lot of these suburbs that popped up. And those have expanded. I've seen growth, urban sprawl. That's when your economy is really good. The downfall and downside of a great economy is that you have urban sprawl and you lose your natural reserves. But because of overpopulation, you have to have growth in the housing market. So I'm saying temperance. I'm saying temperance as in temperance in the bank, temperances in finances, controlling, making sure we don't have a stock market crash, a housing crash. That would be the word, housing crash. And also how we deal with these things and how much we build. So there's probably not going to be a huge growth in houses. I know we've seen a lot of 55 plus home, what would you call that? Living centers. I've seen a lot of those in my area. And retirement. We've seen a lot of townhomes, apartments. And I feel like I keep getting 6 months. So things are going to be pretty temperate for the next 6 months. Let's see the next card. Okay. 4 of Wands. That's good. 4 of Wands is good. That means it's good. 4 of Wands is literally your house card. So that means keeping steady, mortgages keeping steady. Well, let's see what the cross card, the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, good. It's in reverse. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. That means things are going to hold steady. Things are going to be okay. These are rough times, but it looks like that's going to be good. I don't see anything like 2008 happening. 3 of Wands, at the base of the reading. This is happiness, planning, planning for the future, looking ahead, people making smart decisions. Yeah, 3 months. 3 months. Things could look better in 3 months. That's like probably around Christmas, November, Christmas. I don't know. The King of Cups in the past, that's Biden because he was Scorpio. So that's Biden. So what I just got from that was a lot of things that Biden did are still holding firm. A lot of things that he put into place are still in effect and will be for a while. Thank God. I have to say that because if it wasn't for him, and I know some people don't like him, I loved Biden. Okay. I try not to be biased when I'm reading cards. I just try to read the cards. Okay? On a personal level, and a person who's seen a couple different presidents in my life, I thought Biden, despite the last year where he clearly had some age issues, was a pretty steady, hardworking guy and had to fight really hard for the economy and for what was the act that he did to help the bridges and roads. And I'm still seeing that in my community where they're still working on roads and things like that. Okay, 10 of Swords at the top. That is an ending. That is stress. That is stress. That is, yeah, there are going to be some homeless people. There is going to be some foreclosure, stress in the market, people having to give up things just to pay the mortgage. Maybe family. I see like families living together, children staying at home instead of moving out. It used to be there for a while. Kids would move out, they'd go to college, and then they would move into a brand new home. People are going to have to live together for a while. And I think we're already seeing that. Okay, 8 of Swords in reverse. That is not feeling trapped. Not feeling trapped. Not feeling like we're in a prison of our minds. Not feeling like we're in prison. These are actually good cards. Wheel of Fortune. It's not called the Wheel of Misfortune. It's called Wheel of Fortune. It's upright. That means that things are going to be moving ahead pretty good. That's another 10. So maybe 10 months, maybe October. No, October seems too soon. 10 months. 8 of Wands. Avoiding tragedy. Good news. Things moving swiftly. Magician and the hopes and fears in reverse. Dark magic not manifesting, mind control, not manifesting, us able to manifest and the future and prosperity, us being smart and thinking how to, of course, is in reverse, not being manipulated. Knowing that when the stocks go down, we don't just pull out all our money out of the stocks and create a crash. Smart thinking, wise money management. I wish I had some of that. It's been a rough year for me. The Hierophant, the government, again, Biden, things Biden put into place, still standing firm. The books are solid. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. That, again, it's kind of back and forth, money loss. The Queen of Swords, somebody, a woman holding firm. That could be the Federal Reserve woman. For her name, please forgive me, I can't remember her name, but she will still be there. Strong lawyers, strong legal representation. The courts, again, the courts, wise counsel. Women, scrimping, making wise decisions with the money. And the home. King of Wands in reverse. That's kind of like my 45 card. He's kind of not in the picture in the future. Okay, so I'm gonna tell my overall feeling about this. The Four of Wands came out straight off. That's good. The Wheel of Fortune came out. That's good. The bottom of the deck, the Temperance, the Empress woman, the King of Pentacles, another Biden card. I really think that things are going to be okay. I'm getting 6 to 8 months. I'm seeing a little past winter, so maybe January, February, March, April. We're going to see things be okay. We're going to be carried through till April. That's what I see. So that's my answer. And see, the Death card in reverse is not an end, not a death. We're not going to like all fall in disrepair, and so it's going to be okay. Hello. Hi, Team 230. Thanks for subbing. I appreciate that. I have a, pretty hidden channel here on YouTube, so it's really good. If anybody has a question, I'll answer it before I move along here. I'm just pulling cards. Someone had asked me about the housing market, so I did that. So again, 8 months, 8 to 10 months, I see January, February, March, April, we're going to be carried through. Things are going to be okay. Laws that were made, bills that were passed are going to hold firm, and we're going to be okay. Wise counsel, smart money management, it's going to be okay. I don't see that we're going to have a housing crash. It's going to be fine. But, there's some struggle. I think the worst, to be honest, the worst thing going on right now is the food. And I don't like to be doomsday, but maybe I'll pull on that because I need some water. I was sick in July, so I have like the scratchiest voice there. I think we've all had the CVID. I was sick twice, so my voice is so annoying right now. But let's read on. What did I just ask? I just had a brain fart. Well, whatever, if it comes back to me. Okay, well, let's talk about this. I'm here. I won't really pull cards on this, but there's this controversy right now because on TikTok, there were some psychics who were throwing when 45 would pass on. And first of all, that's really unethical. Second, Spirit's never going to give you a date of somebody's passing. And if they do, you best be careful with that because that karma could come back to you. Personally, when I heard people saying that, I was like, ew, cringe. I don't feel that, and I don't like to put that, because if you put that on another person, no matter how bad you think they are, that type of energy comes back to you. But what I did see, and this is controversial, but this is what I see and what I feel, that 45 in 2020, he had decisions and he made bad decisions and he really checked out. And I really feel like his soul decayed in 2020. Like whatever was left of it decayed. He had choice. He could have been a hero, and it decayed. And so the person that we're seeing now is like a shell of a man. And I really feel like Epstein is haunting him like Marley in A Christmas. And anyway, that's just my weird theory that the reason people see that 45 is going to pass on is because he's really here, and he's in the beginnings of passing on. Again, I don't wish that on anyone, but that's kind of my intuitive hit, is that he's really okay. And here's another theory: when people are starting to pass, my cat's meowing, and she's so lonely lately. She's getting older, more like lonely, I guess. I don't know. Poor thing. But when people are starting to pass, when they have health issues or they're age related, you start to decay more because mentally and spiritually they're starting to visit the other side. And I've done this with pets too. They spend a lot of time in sleep on the other side, and their body here on earth is starting to decay. And when people are thinking more about passing to the other side, their body becomes almost like this, like a moth, like a chrysalis, and their soul gets ready to pass on. And it's funny that 45 would talk about heaven and passing on lately, because I really feel like, and the reason why people see him passing on is because he has begun the process. His soul has begun to pass on to the other side, and his body is starting to decay. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's had visits from his mother and father, and wasn't it his brother that already passed on? And Epstein's like Bob Marley. He's trying to save his soul, what's left of it. I don't think there's a whole bunch left in there. Now you would think that him knowing that he's going to pass on soon, that he would do all these wonderful things. Maybe he thinks they're wonderful things. I doubt it. I don't think that he's the problem with 45 is he has a disorder called narcissism. And what narcissism does is it's just like this endless ego that needs to be fed by other people's misery and their adoration of you. And it's like Jim Jones. What did Jim Jones do to the very last day? He needed people to adore him and suffer for him. And the second that they stopped doing that, he became frantic, and then he did the ultimate demise, which is kind of like what Hitler did too. 45 is like that. As long as people adore him, and as long as people suffer for him, and he creates that suffering. Narcissists create people suffering because they feed off of other people's emotional and physical and mental suffering. Right now, 45 is trying to starve us. Jim Jones starved his cult members in the People's Church. It's a way to get narcissistic food and supply off of the victims. 45 has narcissism. So even if he wanted to sort of like redeem himself and evolve and ascend and go into heaven with a clean soul, it's really hard for him because he has this disorder called narcissism. And in that, I feel really bad for him. I've always said this. I feel bad for 45 that he has this narcissism. It's really like a beast that needs to be fed all the time. And so many ways he can't help himself. You can see that. He can't help himself. Look at the gold that he keeps. He's like, gobble, gobble, gobble. I got to have this gold. I got to have money. I've got to have all this stuff. Really, a healthy person would not need that. What they would need is to feel healthy, have healthy relationships, to, have education and healthy mindset and all these things, and have real love and real mature fostering relationships. He doesn't have that. All he has is his narcissism constantly needing to be fed by the worst energy ever, which is other people's pain and suffering. So could he go to heaven? I've said that in his last moments, which I feel like 45 has 2 years tops, if that. I'm thinking like 6 months, really, but I feel like he has 2 years. And I'm talking about alive. I don't see him in the White House for more than 6 months. Yeah, I've said that from the very beginning. Again, I don't wish it on anyone. I don't wish harm on anyone. But this is just what I see as an intuitive for entertainment only. But in his last dying moments, if he all of a sudden said, "Oh my God, what I did was awful, and I'm sorry I did this to these people, to all these people and my victims, and I'm sorry, I feel horrible and I want to change, and I ask forgiveness for myself." It's more forgiveness is forgiving what we did. It's not forgiving what other people did so much. It's like what we did and forgiving ourselves for allowing things to us. He would have to have in his last final moments a feeling of compassion for his victims, which there are many, and a willingness to change. Because, yes, you do change to be on the other side, because the other side, heaven, whatever you want to call it, is a really high frequency. And you can't really get there if you're covered in muck. So, anyway, I can't remember the other question I was going to ask, so that doesn't matter. I guess I get asked, what happened with the food? What's going to happen with food? What's going to happen with food? What will happen with the tariffs and food? Like, will we get coffee? This flew out. 4-1. Okay. That's good. 4 of Wands means we're now going to get by. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to have to help each other. Okay, show me the food. Okay, Page of Cups, the children. We really don't want starving children. That's really a bad look. And the children are watching. Okay, Six of Pentacles. See, this is feeding the children, feeding the adult. This is us caring for each other. But look, there's 45's hand stealing the milk from the kittens. So we're going to have systems that work around 45, you know? Because clearly, again, he's a narcissist. He can't help it. He's always going to take. He's always gobble, gobble, gobble is my new term for him. He's always going to take. He doesn't care if children are starving. I'm sorry, he just doesn't. So we have to help each other. We have to work around him. 9 of Pentacles, that's good. Maybe we have to create funds in the grocery store, funds to help each other. Food banks everywhere. Food banks in your neighborhood. You know, they have those little food libraries all over the place. We have to help each other. We have to make sure children eat. We cannot have that. How are we going to get to the other side if we're not feeding children, honestly? Queen of Cups in reverse, that's upset mothers, upsetters. That's a lot of stress for mom. And I should know when there's no food. Justice. I feel like someone's going to step in. This really has gone too far, and the tariffs have gone too far. I think other countries are really going to lay the law down on 45. Clearly, the circle that's around him not doing their job. They're not helping Americans. And so other countries are going to make it. Like I just heard today, Japan said, hell no, I'm not going to come meet you. You're slapping tariffs on all of us. You're letting your citizens starve. And then we have Gaza starving. We can't allow this. So they are fighting back finally and not capitulating to 45. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. That's money coming in. I think that, you know, they had the taco thing. I thought was kind of silly because it's not that he out and, you know, talked his way out of it, because he keeps slapping the tariffs on at whim. What we need to do is have a standard that says you can't do that. You can only this much of a percentage of tariffs. You can't control the world market and economy. You can't control what gets sent in and out of the world, because it's affecting the world. There's going to be, the world is going to slap back on him. Okay, 3 of Rods in reverse. So that is people not working together, things shut down, months. Okay, Christmas is here's what's going to happen. We're going to get to around Christmas, and when people realize that they can't buy Christmas food, I've been through this. I feel like I've been through all this before anyone else went through it. And can't buy toys, and we can't travel, and we have no Christmas cards from around the world or even here in America because of the Mad King has shut down the post office and everything. Crap's good. So I do feel like we're going to suffer and we're suffering. But I think that before we get into the darkest days of winter, I think Christmas it's going to hit a point where we're going to enough. And I feel like his health isn't good enough to even get to Christmas. That's what I feel. Not wishing it on anyone. Um, but if we're not harvesting food now and we're not out of the country and vice versa, that's not good. Winter's going to be hard. So I think Christmas is going to really lay bare on why we cannot have tariffs like that. And we pay and we don't get the money back. He gets it. And then there's gold in the Oval Office. So the tariffs are serving him. They're a punishment-based system on us, other countries. He does it at whim, and he's the one taking all the money. We're not getting it. No one's getting that money back. We're paying it, and we're not getting the money back, and then we're going to starve. So Christmas is going to show this cannot happen, and I feel like the last who in Whoville, the last MAGA is going to say, okay, I give up. This is bad. I can't buy coffee. I can't buy beer. I can't buy my Doritos. None of us can go out to eat. And it's really going to lay bare just how bad this is and how ridiculous it is. So I do think things are going to be bad for 3 months. It's just going to we're going to start to feel it, and people are all just going to come together and say, enough of this. So if anyone has a question, ask me. Otherwise, I'm about to go. I'm going to go here. Let's see, what else should I ask real quick? We know Kamala's not coming back. Kamala's not coming back, unfortunately. I was heartbroken, and she decided that it was done. And as I said before, you kind of feel like, wow, maybe she didn't really want to be president. But what it is she didn't want to be anyone's punching bag. And she saw that we didn't fight. I say we, not me. I feel like fought really hard. A lot of us fought for her. But like other Democrats that are in high office didn't fight for her. I think voters fought for her, but she really saw a lot of betrayal in the people around her, like Chuck Schumer and others. It's sad. So she's not coming back, but she is doing her, and that's going to do really well. And yeah, but she's not coming back, unfortunately. That's really sad because I really loved her. That's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go, and if you have any other question, ask in the comments or on a post, and I will come back and answer them later, or just do a post about it. Thank you, and have a good night. Oh, and if you would like a reading, email me at spirittarot8@gmail.com, and I can do a reading. I do personals, I do tarot card, I can do angel guides, I can do your past life, general messages, just general questions. And I need to make some money, but more than that, I'd like to do this for people and to be of service. So thanks for watching. Have a great night. Bye.